Good morning, yogis. It's Tuesday. What's up? September 16th, 2014. It's Second Chakra Tuesday, the sexiest day of the week. So let's stretch the hips. Isn't that right? So, how you doing? I hope you're doing good. We're going to start with pitch. Open up the back of the hip first, and then we'll come for frontal, full frontal. You know what I'm saying? So come and join me in tabletop. Well, if you don't know me, I'm Jeff Bassman, and this channel, welcome, the Daily Chakra channel, we talk about the principles of yoga and try to actually apply them to life and make them better. So on Tuesday, the second chakra talks about sex. So there's something I talked about a few weeks ago, which was this whole idea of sex not being an orgasm contest. So I wanted to just touch on that again, because I don't think we have it down quite yet. The concept is from this article I read, and I'll put a link to it in the description. And it talks about the fact that a lot of times when we're having sex, you kind of get frustrated because we haven't had an orgasm yet, and so it kind of becomes this race to finish, and we don't enjoy it as much during. Does that make sense? So if you're just kind of frustrated the whole time that you haven't had an orgasm, you kind of end up being frustrated, and the sex itself becomes less enjoyable, and you're not enjoying a partner as much. You're not as being as attentive to the other person. You're kind of just being a dick. So there's this idea of that's what this article talks about, called goal-oriented sex, where you have to have this, amazing climax, and yeah, of course, it's like an awesome feeling, but you kind of lose out on other aspects of sex, like the snuggliness and the lovingness of it. So I guess it depends on what your goals are for that particular evening or morning, if you're like me. So the idea expressed in this article is that you should have non-goal-oriented sex, which is you're just enjoying being there with the person and doing your thing, and whatever happens, happens. You don't have to have any pressure on, am I going to have an orgasm or not? And, where is this orgasm? Because a lot of times that will, again, lead to you not being there, quote, in the moment, as we love to say here in yoga. All right, so come on down to the backy, and we'll do some goddess. Supta Baddha Konasana. This is one of my favorite ones to pronounce. One of the only ones I actually do pronounce in Sanskrit. So, just, heels of the feet together, if you can't see. All right, and we're just relaxing, getting ready for the day. All right, I'm going to bring shoulder blades together and kind of down body, and then hands can kind of be relaxed and facing up. So I hope that lesson makes sense. I haven't fully grasped it myself, but it's something interesting to think about. It's how can we? Is there another example? It's like say if you go fishing, and you're attaching to this idea of, oh, I need to actually catch a fish, you might not enjoy the actual process of fishing. You're sitting out there in the boat, and you've cast your line out, and the trees are everywhere, and you've got the birds singing, and the fish and the frogs, are splashing in the water, at the edge, and the sun is shining down through the clouds, and there's a soft, cool breeze coming over you, and a nice, someone has a campfire going across the way, and you can smell the burning embers. All right, so enjoying that, being in nature is part of the fishing experience, I would imagine. So if you're just so caught up on whether or not you caught a fish that's big enough to keep, you're going to lose out on half the enjoyment. So that's kind of a parallel example, I think, to this orgasm idea, where you have this idea that a sex session, if you will, isn't successful unless you have an orgasm, and that's silly. So you don't have to think of it that way. It's not a contest. And something else I've gotten wrapped up in is like if one person has an orgasm and the other one doesn't, you're kind of like, well, what the hell? And I could see being like, what the hell if the other person like was a dick and didn't care. But if I think if you can't control the other person's mind, but if you or me, if I take the mentality of it doesn't matter whether or not I have an orgasm right now, I'm going to give my full attention to this person. If this person gets one, that's great. If I get one, that's cool too. But I'm not going to attach to that as necessary for me to enjoy the sex. All right, so I think that'll help us enjoy sex more because you're not, it reduces the possibility of getting frustrated or pissed off because sex is the best, and so you shouldn't be frustrated. It should just be awesome every time. So one way to make sure that it's awesome every time is to not get attached to an orgasm. How about it? All right, so it's Tuesday. We're just about ready to start the day. Some of you may have already started the day, but you know what? If it's evening and you're watching this, I think these stretches will help relax tonight, and maybe if you got a special someone coming over, this is the perfect time. So, before they get here, let's calm down the mind. All right, mine's been racing all night if you just woke up. It's been racing all day if you were at work. So either way, perfect time for a meditation. We'll just sit for 5 minutes. So I want you to imagine a bright orange light coming from just above your pubic bone. And this is where the creativity and sexiness emanates from, isn't it? Second chakra talks about these two things, among others. And so today's the day to exercise that. If you like writing haikus, we've done a few of those before. If you like having sex, I would suggest trying to make that happen. And guess what? Sex with yourself counts too for Tuesday's activity list. Oh yeah. So for me, I'm going to go back to the fishing boat. Remember the sights and the sounds and the smells. To me, camping's pretty sexy. For you, go to your sexy place. Maybe it's outside. Picture the sights, smell the smells, hear the sounds. I'll see you back in 5. Blink those eyes open. Hey, sexy thing. So today's Tuesday. Don't forget, you are a sexy and creative being. That's right. So, well, if you think about it, sex is the ultimate act of creativity, isn't it? Because you're creating another dude or a baby girl. So, oh, actually, my cousin is going to have a kid like this week. How exciting. So look at the creative genius happening right there. For you, you have the potential too. So, you know, if you're not happy in your job, it could be because you're not being creative. So one way to get that is to do something creative at home. So write a poem or draw a picture or sing a song or something like that. So if you have any questions on how to be more creative, you can shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you, jeff@dailychakra.com, and we can come, put together a little program for you. And that's it. So I hope you understand the orgasm discussion. I hope that all makes sense. If not, shoot me a note or hit me up on Twitter @JeffBassman. And so that's it, babies. All right. So make today awesome. That's the goal. Or if you're watching this tonight, you know what to do. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Yes.